We can't both say that men have all the competence in the world to be leaders and to be power holders and also say that they're so incompetent that they don't know when it's time to keep their hands to themselves. You can't have it both ways.
Today is International Women's Day, but many women may be surprised to learn a law against groping has one specific exclusion in the state of Minnesota. The 1988 law that made groping illegal still allows, quote, the intentional touching of the clothing area covering the immediate area of the buttocks, end quote. Valley News Team's Rose Itzkovitz explains how new legislation is trying to change that.
Cassidy Ronning, a student in Moorhead, says she's been groped by a stranger before.
We were just at a party and it happened.
She didn't report it.
I guess I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but also nothing would be done about it.
And that's why she says she's not surprised. According to the Minnesota statute that defines criminal sexual conduct in the 5th degree, a certain area is excluded.
Grabbing the groin, the genitals, the breast has already been a crime. Instead of saying, but touching the clothing-covered buttocks is not a crime, we're saying it should be a crime.
Minnesota Senator John Marty co-authored the law 30 years ago.
It was a huge progress. It was the first time we were saying groping is illegal.
He says he was a co-author, but not a lead role, and didn't help write the exclusion.
Oh, boys will be boys. That was the old attitude. So it's a long time after we should be cleaning these things up.
I've always wondered why more men weren't offended by the phrase boys will be boys, as if men are such animals that they have no ability to control themselves. If I were a man, I'd be rather offended by that.
But now we know better.
This time, Senator Marty is heading the legislation to fix the omission and says he's optimistic.
The Me Too movement is changing attitudes and people are listening to what women are experiencing.
It should change. It shouldn't be a norm.
And women like Cassidy, who've been assaulted, say it's about time. In Moorhead, Rose Itzkovitz, Valley News Live.
So far, legislation to get rid of the exception passed in the Senate Judiciary Committee. It's on the Senate floor now and still has to pass in the House before it goes on to the governor.